Hi everyone, welcome back to Earl Grey Books. I'm Ali. This is the first vlog for September. I'm going to be splitting this into two halves. So the first half where I will be mostly focusing on Bookoplathon, hopefully, maybe some other things, and then the second half where I will be doing my own readathon, which is the Make Me Read readathon. That starts on the 17th, so this will probably end around the 16th, the 15th, I'm not really sure. But today is the first, and I thought I would jump on. I haven't read anything yet, but that I would just jump on and let you know what I'm going to start with for my roles, and then I will come back next week and tell you about what I've read. So today's Thursday. Yes, I have 7 roles that I did during my TBR. I'll link that below, but I do also have some other things that I'd like to try and squeeze in, but I thought that it would be a good idea to start with the roles, the actual TBR that I've set, and then once I've read 1 or 2 off there, maybe I will take a break and slip something in between them. But I thought a good one to start with would be Sweetest in the Gale by Olivia Dade. This was my colour wheel pick. I got orange, and obviously you can see the orange back here, but it's also orange on the back. This is 3 novellas from the There's Something About Marysburg series. So this technically makes up the 3rd book, but yeah, it's 3 separate novellas in there, and I'm very excited to get to this. It's reasonably short. I think it's something like around the 300 page mark, and so I'm looking forward to starting that one tonight. I just got done filming a video, so I am going to read a little bit of this now, I think. And that is what we're starting with. I think I will probably finish this by tomorrow night, so I think for the weekend I might start my mechanical romance. I don't know, my TBR is over there, and I think I'm going to go with that one, which is also quite short, so that I could mark them off. On Monday I am starting a buddy read of Jade City with Meredith, so I don't want to start anything that I won't be able to finish, because otherwise I just won't finish them. So yeah, I think I'll read this one, and then maybe that one. They're both, I think, around the 300 page mark, maybe even less for that one, and then we'll go into this beast. I will probably read some non-Bookoplathon things alongside this one. We'll see. But that is it for the update today, just nice and quick to jump in. And I will catch you all probably Monday afternoon, and I'll let you know what I've read. It's Monday, and I'm here to update you on my weekend reading. So not a whole lot of it happened. It was my partner's birthday this Sunday, so we didn't really do a lot of reading this weekend. We did a little, but yeah. So I did manage on Friday night to finish up Sweetest in the Gale by Olivia Dade, which is the 3rd book in the There's Something About Marysburg series. This is a collection of short novellas. I enjoyed these for the most part. There's 3 of them in here. I really like the first 2, which take place at Marysburg High and follow 2 sets of teachers. So the first book in the series also did that, and The second book was about the assistant principal while she was on holiday, and so the first two also followed teachers at the same school. The third one was completely left of field and had like basically nothing to do with the rest of the series other than it took place in Marysburg, and I didn't enjoy that one as much. They were all cute. That one was a little tougher to read as well, as it is about a woman going through breast cancer, which is never something that is fun or enjoyable to read about, but they were all pretty cute romances. So I'm excited that I have this done. That is the final book in this series. So there's the series finished. And then I decided to pick up Uprooted by Naomi Novik, also on Friday night, and I read a little bit then, but have been reading this Saturday and Sunday as well. So this one, I am 154 pages into this. I'm not loving this. It reminds me a lot of For the Wolf, which I read a few months ago, and this has a similar sort of vibe to it. So yeah, this is quite slow, and like I enjoy that story. Like I don't, it's one of those stories that's a Beauty and the Beast retelling sort of thing. Quite happy to read that story again, and this has a different angle, but it's kind of similar vibes. So I have nothing against the story, but it is quite slow, and I think it's like, yeah, it's almost like 430 pages. I'm on page 154. Things have happened, but it's just like, what is the point of the things that are happening right now? Because that could have been like spread across and been the whole story. So where is the story going to go from here? I think this will probably be one that takes me another week and a half. I don't know, maybe I might hit sort of the halfway mark and it'll pick up and I'll sort of see where the story is going. But right now it's enjoyable, but I am reading it slowly. I feel like I pick it up like once a day, and maybe I read for a good 30 minutes or something like that, but it's not one that I'm having trouble putting down, if that makes sense. So I have that, and then this morning I started Jade City by Fonda Lee, which I am buddy reading with Meredith from Reading with Merb. She's honestly like one of my favorite booktubers. If you haven't checked her out, you definitely should, because her videos are hilarious and I really enjoy watching them. They always kind of like brighten my day. So if you haven't watched Meredith before, she'll be linked below. But I started this morning because I knew that if I didn't start it on the day that we'd kind of been like, hey, how does the 5th kind of sound for a start? I knew that I wouldn't pick it up, and then Meredith would message me soon and be like, oh, I've picked it up, and then it would be like, oh, I've finished it, and I'd be like, oh, I haven't started because I procrastinated it. So instead I have started, and I read the first 2 chapters, which is about 20 pages worth. I know Meredith isn't starting now for a few days, so I'm going to read this pretty slowly until she does start. So I think that I will probably try and read about 2 chapters a day, and I think she said she's starting Wednesdays, so even if I just read 2 more chapters tomorrow, then I'm not too drastically ahead, and but I've started and I'm working on it. So there's that. I think that this might end up being a slow read. I'm not sure if once I get into it that I will like zoom through it, or whether it's going to be one that I want to take my time with. I do have a time limit on these that I want to finish, or I want to try and finish my whole Bookoplathon TBR before Make Me Read starts, which is my own readathon, because none of them are on that TBR. So I'd like to get through the 6 that I have left before then, which it starts on the 17th. So that's the plan with that. However, I did realize that I made my TBR very fantasy heavy, and since I'm already reading 2 big fantasy books, I didn't really want to start another one. So instead, I think for the next few days alongside those, I'm going to pick up The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston, which is a romance, so I thought that would be nice to kind of break it up. I also have some things on my Kindle. I also have Evil Under the Sun by Agatha Christie. These are both like reasonably short. I mean, this is bigger, but it's a romance, so it's quicker to get through. I always fly through the Poirot books. I think this is like 300 and something, not even 200, and so I want to do that. And I also have 400 Souls, which I might continue reading. This one I'm not really bothered if I don't finish, but I just want to have some things to read if I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by the fantasy books. So I don't know, I'd like to try and finish one of them this week so that I can move on with some of the other ones that I have as well. But we'll see how we do. But for now, I am going to jump back into the essay that I was writing, and I will see you all, I think, Wednesday afternoon, unless I haven't really read anything, but I will see you all soon. Spring has sprungeth in Melbourne today. It's the first time I've been able to wear a t-shirt all day without having to put a jacket or a jumper or something on, and I am very happy about it. I don't even like the heat, but I don't know, just feeling fletchy, just feeling good about it today. And we've already got a very annoying but adorably cute Fletchy who has decided to rub his face on my stuff. So it is Wednesday today, and I'm just opening up my spreadsheet because I have read quite a few things since I spoke to you last, and I typed in the wrong password. And I don't remember what they are. They were, I think, all ebooks. I mean, there's 2 of them, but like, that still feels like a lot. Let's wait for my spreadsheet to load. Okay, so I finished off 2 books that I had started. One was a KU and the other just an ebook. So I read Wrong Car, Right Guy by Megan Wade, which is an author I'm going to meet next month at a book event. So I was testing to see whether I wanted to buy this book because they're all pre-orders before the event, and I really like this, and I have pre-ordered this trilogy, which is called Wrong Right, as in right with a W. So there was that. I really liked that. And then I also read To Catch a Fay, which is the like prequel novella to the Winter's Thorn series, which is by Mila Young, who is also going to be at that event. And I decided I absolutely did not want to buy this series because it was bad. I've read a few Mila Youngs lately, or have been reading them, and I've mostly enjoyed them, but this one was just a bit of a doozy. So I won't be continuing with this series, but at least I know that, and I didn't buy it and then have to unhaul it. So that's what I finished. And then basically I've just been really in the mood to start everything and not really finish anything. So I've already talked to you about these ones. So quick little update, Jade City. I have now read 60 pages, which is the first 6 chapters, and I am hoping to read up to, I think it was chapter 9 today, maybe chapter 10. Yeah, until the start of chapter 10. I'm struggling with this at the moment because I had previously read all up to chapter 10, so none of this is particularly new to me, and so it's not really that interesting. I'm hoping that once I hit that part that I haven't read before, I will enjoy it more, because right now this is struggle city. I've been wanting to make that joke literally all day. So yeah, I'm hoping that I will enjoy it. I don't know where I was up to with Uprooted last time, but I think it was like 154 or something, but I'm now 170, and also not super enjoying this one either, which is why I've kind of been struggling. I feel like I'm starting to slump a bit because I'm like, oh, I don't really like either of these two that much right now, and I want to keep going with them, but also like they're not really doing it for me. So I've started a few things on my Kindle, because that just seems to be the way that I'm getting through books at the moment, is getting through the ones on my Kindle. So I have spent most of my time reading Sin and Spell, which is the second book in the Tenebra City series by A.M. Core. This is a monster romance series that is told in second perspective, so that you're the person in the relationship with the monster. It's really interesting. So I am 67% of the way through this one, and I need to finish it hopefully tomorrow, because I have an arc of book 3 which is out next week or the week after, and I need to finish this one so I can start that one. These, I like to kind of read them over a few days, so I'm giving myself maybe until tomorrow afternoon to finish book 2, so that I can have a little break before getting into book 3, and that I should still have time to finish it and write my review before that is due up. And then I've tried a few other things. I tried Just One Damn Thing After Another by Jodie Taylor, which is part of the Read My Kindle picks, and I actually really enjoyed the first 5%, but I then just got distracted by other things. I also read the first 4% of something else that is part of my next Kindle Unlimited vlog, so I can't tell you about that one here. But anyway, that's kind of what we've been doing, and I think I mentioned that I had an essay. I finished that now, so I can submit that, and I have a bit of a break until November, I think, is when the next one is due. So yes, I have work tomorrow. I think I'm probably gonna spend I don't know, I'll try and finish Sin and Spell tonight and then read something else on the train, because I don't know if monster romance is really the thing I want to be reading on public transport. But anyway, that's really all I have to update you on for now. I'm hoping that yes, I feel like I'm going to be back maybe Sunday afternoon to tell you what I've been reading over the weekend and over these last few weekdays, because I just don't think I'm going to have enough to tell you about on Friday. So, yes, I don't know. I feel like I might start another one off my TBR. I'm considering doing some more rolls and seeing if I get some prompts that I could fit for non-fantasy reads, or things that are already back here that, I don't know, I feel bad about reading them because they don't cross prompts off. But yeah, we'll see how the rest of the week goes. But I will see you all, like I said, probably on Sunday. Okay friends, we're in the my little study today, because today is Monday the 12th and it is a day of content planning and creation for kind of the rest of the month and going into October as well. But I thought that I would jump on here and let you know what I read over the weekend, and then yes, I will jump back into that. I've already done some stuff. It's lunchtime, so I've already done a few things this morning, and I thought I'd take a little break. Just made myself a cuppa, so I will drink that, and thought I would jump in and do this. So over the weekend, or since I spoke to you last, which I believe was maybe even Wednesday, I was reading Sin and Spell by A.M. Core. My hair. So I finished that one that night. Really enjoyed that. Didn't love it quite as much as the first one. This is the second book in the series. It's a monster romance told from second perspective, and this one was about an incubus, and there was a whole thing with a bakery, and it was cute, but the first one is still my favorite at the moment. I have already jumped into reading the third one, which I have an arc of. That one is called Flame and Fraud, and it is a dragon romance. I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm about 50 pages into it though, so I still got a little bit to go, but I'm liking it so far. That one is out on the 16th, so I need to have my review done and posted before then. So I'm having to read that one on my laptop at the moment because it just didn't really work on my Kindle, so it's a little bit slower going than usual, but that's okay. So that one, and then I read 2 books over the weekend itself. I read Evil Under the Sun, which is Agatha Christie, as you can see. This is complicated because Goodreads will tell you this is number 21, I think, but other websites say this is number 24. So I'm not really sure, but I've been reading them in order. So this was definitely the next one. The numbering is just weird. I really enjoyed this one. It was a good little mystery. My only complaint is that I feel like this is probably not the best for Poirot in terms of he really doesn't do much in this one. Like, he doesn't really say too much, and usually he sort of keeps his thoughts to himself until the big reveal, which is what he did. But even then, in previous ones, you see him talk to the different witnesses and suspects, and this one he didn't really do that much. It was a lot of the police and just the sort of other characters between themselves, but I still really enjoyed this. And then I also finished off The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston yesterday. This is one of my favorite reads of the year because it was fantastic. It took me a little bit to get into it, but mostly because I wasn't sure if it was the one that I wanted to be reading. I was a little nervous about this because it is a ghost sort of story, and that's not usually my thing at all. But it was adorable and I loved it, and I feel like I'm gonna link my written review for this one down below, but I feel like basically this is a very romancy romance book in that it's very obvious that Ashley Poston is a reader of romance as well as a writer of it. She mentions a lot of authors and books, and the main character is a writer of romance as well. And I really loved seeing that. It feels really, well, real. Like, it doesn't seem forced or like Ashley Poston has just like googled romance authors. It's obvious that she knows what she's talking about and that she is a fan of these books herself, or maybe knows some of the authors and things like that. And I really like that. So, like I said, I've already started Flame and Fraud, and I've got some other books here that I'm reading, planning to read. I have The Marvelous by Donnie L. Clayton. This is none of these other ones have been on my actual Bookoplathon TBR. This one was for something. I don't remember what now. Anyway, it was definitely on the TBR. I started this yesterday. I read about 44 pages. I'm not sure about it. I really want to love this because I really like Donnie L. Clayton and I love middle grade fantasy, but I'm not sure if this is the book I want right now. So I'm going to give it a little... I think I'm going to read some of these other things in between and then come back to this one. But because I haven't really read that much from my actual Bookoplathon TBR, I do want to pick up My Mechanical Romance this week, which was on there, I think, as my like TBR game prompt. So this is pretty short, so I thought it would be a good one to get to so that I've at least like marked off that prompt. And yeah, we'll just see how I go from there with the rest of the prompts. The only other thing I want to read is I want to give Juniper and Thorn a go. This is by Ava Reid. This is due back at the library. I managed to renew all of the other books that I hadn't read, but this one had some holds on, so I need to return it. So I want to give it a go. I need to return it on Thursday, so I want to give it a chance before then and see whether I do want to read it. I'm not sure. I've never read anything by Ava Reid before, but this is like a witchy thing. I don't know if I'm really struggling with fantasy at the moment, so that's why I'm kind of feeling a bit hesitant about this, but I'll give it a shot and we'll see how we go. But that is it for today. I'm just going to leave this clip here. I don't really have anything else to say, so I'm going to go back to doing my stuff and drinking my tea, and I will catch you all, I think, yeah, it's really like if I have anything to tell you about before Friday, I will, but I feel like I probably won't. Friday will be my last check-in. Oh, hi, Percy. Great. Thanks, Percy. Baba. Okay. We're just gonna have to deal with him there for a second. Yes, then that will be the end of this vlog, and I will go into Make Me Read. Cool. Alrighty. Well, I will see you all when I have things to update you on. Hi everyone. It's Friday now, and it's not been the week that I was expecting. I spoke to you guys on Monday. And I was, yeah, I don't know, this week I've just been really, it's not even sick. It's just been like a lot of low blood sugars and then high blood sugars and then fatigue and chronic pain and just not a great time. So I've spent most of this week asleep, honestly. I've been exhausted. And now I'm gonna yawn. So I've only finished 2 things since I spoke to you last. I finished off Flame and Fraud Tuesday morning. I really enjoyed this. This is definitely the most intense one in the series so far. This is like a mafia romance as well as it being a monster dragon romance. So that's, I don't usually read mafia romances, but this one was, yeah, intense, but good. I think that had it not had the dragon aspect, I probably wouldn't have liked it. But that made it a little more interesting to me. I just don't care about mafia romances. So yeah, I did really enjoy that one though, and it actually took me a few days, but I also read My Mechanical Romance. This is really short, but it does have quite small font in here. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's quite tiny. But it mostly took me a couple of days because I was really not feeling like reading that much. But I really enjoyed this one as well. It was really cute. I don't really know anything about robotics. This made me like when I was thinking about this and like I was thinking of like how I would talk about it, I remembered that I was going to talk about the fact that like I'm an art history major, I have a lit degree, I don't really understand anything about science or mathematics or robotics or anything like that, and it kind of reminded me of the time, I think it was in year 7, in like, I don't even remember what the class was called now, but it was like a tech class and we had to make like a doorbell and I couldn't even do that, like I fucked it up real bad. So I didn't understand like any of the robotics things that were happening, but it was fun to read about. I really enjoyed it. So I hope that I think it's Alexine is how you say it, puts out a couple more of these. If you don't know, this is Olivia Blake's non-pseudonym, and I really liked the Atlas 6, but I really enjoyed this one as well. So I would be really interested in reading things from her that are more in this genre, as well as like the sequel to Atlas 6 and things adult and YA. I think she is one of those authors that could do both, or can do both, because I just read this and loved it. So there's that. I don't know. This was not really the plan of how I thought these first 2 weeks of Bookoplathon would go. I thought that I would be able to read most of my TBR, but I didn't really anticipate, like I'm still in that huge fantasy slump. I don't want to read fantasy. I've tried a few and I'm just really struggling with them, and I don't know whether I'm struggling with those books or whether I'm struggling with fantasy as a genre right now. I'm just not feeling those vibes. So that's pretty much the rest of my TBR, and is also quite a sizable chunk of my Make Me Read TBR, which I'm about to start tomorrow for the next vlog, and that'll be the last 2 weeks of September. So we're gonna see how we go with that. I think what's gonna end up happening is that I'm going to have to disperse my Make Me Read TBR with some other things, even if I don't finish those books. Just otherwise I don't think I'll even get through the first book. So one of the things I have to read this weekend is Persuasion by Jane Austen for class on Monday and Tuesday. So I've actually read this multiple times. Persuasion is my favorite Austen, but I wasn't gonna turn down an excuse to reread it. Like, yeah. So I'm also really excited to talk about this in class, and if anyone says anything bad about it, I'm just gonna cry because I love it so much. So yeah, that's definitely a goal for this weekend. And obviously I will talk about the Make Me Read ones in my next vlog, which will be up at the start of October. And yes, I'm really excited to read this again. I think it will be a good, I don't know, I feel like sometimes when you're feeling a bit slumpy or you don't really know what to read, doing a reread of a favorite is a really good way to kind of push through that. And like I said, this is my favorite Austen, but it's also one of my favorite books of all time. So I'm excited to be reading it again, and then I'll kind of see what other things I might slip in. I've got maybe some non-fiction that I could read and some other things. So you'll see all that in the next vlog. But that is it for the end of this one. If I get the chance to finish off my Bookoplathon TBR in between reading my Make Me Read, I will, but I don't think that'll happen. But I'm gonna try and at least finish off one or two of them that I have already started. So with that being said, that's the end of this half of the month's vlog, and I will catch you all next time. On Friday I have a little book haul for you all, so I'll see you all then. Bye.